Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news and myself, Amata. Today is still the 14th of November and this time I'm bringing you some news for the PS4, as of course the PS4 is going to be launching with a number of games available to download from the PlayStation Store, and the US version is actually live now, so we can actually learn each game's install size as well as their price in dollars. Now, of course, we had similar news for the Xbox One just a couple of days ago regarding all of the big name titles and how much hard drive space they're going to be taking up. So it's good to be seeing on the other side of the fence. Now, I'm not really going to be focusing too much on the price here. I'm just going to be focusing on the install size. Anyway, we have Angry Birds Star Wars is a tiny 1.5 gig, and then we've got Assassin's Creed 4, both the Black Flag and the Black Flag Gold Edition weigh in at 21.2 gigs. Battlefield 4 is 33.9. Blacklight Retribution is 4.9 gigs. Call of Duty Ghosts, whether it's the normal or digital hardened edition, runs in at 31.3 gigs. Contrast is 2.3. DC Universe Online is 22.7. FIFA 14 is 9 gigs. Flower is 1.8. Injustice Gods Among Us is 22 gigs. Just Dance is 22 once more, and Killzone Shadowfall is at 38.5, which is rather monstrous to say the least. And then Knack, surprisingly, is not actually that far behind at 35.6. Lego Marvel Superheroes is 6.4. Madden NFL 25 is 13.1. NBA 2K14 is 41.8. And NFS Rivals, unfortunately, there is no information on just yet, but Resogun is a rather teeny tiny 460.8 megabytes. Sound Shapes is 3.4 gigs. Super Motherload is 393.6 megabytes. Trine 2 The Complete Story is 2.6 gigs, and then Warframe is 4.2 gigabytes. Now, for those of you who are paying attention, you will know that the largest install size on this list is NBA 2K14, which is a monstrous 41.8 gigabytes. On Xbox One, this is 43 gigabytes, so there's not really too much difference between the size of that particular game. And the same goes for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is of course multi-platform. That is at 20 gigabytes rather than the 21.2 on the PS4. But we do have a bit of difference with Call of Duty Ghosts, which is 39 gigs on the Xbox One, and of course 31.1 gigabytes on the PS4. So it's rather interesting just to see that small difference in the different versions of these games. And it's probably due with the OS of each particular platform, but that's pure speculation. I'm not really sure as to why there's a difference in size, but it probably has something to do with how each console works. What is rather interesting though is that Eurogamer has actually verified reports that indicated that you have access to just 408 gigs of the 500 gigabytes PS4 hard drive, and they actually showed an image, which I of course link in the description. I can't show it in the video for obvious reasons, but the image does show that 408 gig is available to users, but it doesn't really show what that 92 gig is reserved for. No doubt some of it is reserved for pre-installed software such as the Playroom, and undoubtedly some of it is for the OS itself as well, but of course we don't know what all of that space is going to. And Eurogamer actually spoke to Mark Rubin, who is of course executive producer at Infinity Ward, about next-gen game sizes and installations, and of course the very real potential for hard drives filling up super quick. And the reason for the increase is texture sizes, according to him. And he said, quote, "We have to try and make the best game we can, which means we're going to continue to put lots and lots of textures and more variety. I would be very upset if we limited ourselves on visuals because we're worried about hard drive space. It's not our responsibility. It happens on every console that's been out. They come out with versions that have bigger hard drives, but they don't need to worry right away. But they will eventually when the games start to get bigger. People might look back on 50 and go, wow, remember the days when they were only 50 gigabytes? So there you have it. Apart from the odd small indie game, but even knack doesn't even qualify as that now with the rather mighty size of 35.6, we're going to be seeing rather large install sizes for all of the big name hitters for the next generation. And I think that Mark Rubin has the right of it, and we're only going to see them increase as developers get at a hang of how these consoles work and how to get more use out of them, how to get more power out of them. Of course, it took developers of this current generation many, many years to properly learn how to utilize both the Xbox 360 and PS3. If you take a launch game from either of those particular platforms and then compare it to one that's coming out now or has just come out, the difference is pretty huge. And of course, they're the same hardware, but developers just got better at using that hardware. And of course, we're going to be seeing something similar with the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's going to take them a while to get a handle on it, to know its tricks and its little quirks and how to best utilize the hardware that they're working with. So while the games that are being released for both platforms look pretty damn nice now, I'm sure that in comparison to the games coming out later, they'll probably at least look worse but still look good, if that makes any sense. So as that happens, of course, we're going to be seeing bigger install sizes, so I would not be surprised to see versions of both consoles coming out with bigger hard drives, or maybe even peripherals being sold to expand your current hard drive. Now, of course, the hard drive for each of them works differently. With the PS4, you can only have internal, and with the Xbox One, you can only have external. So I would not be surprised to see those being released not long after launch, perhaps even, like, say, 6 months or 8 months down the line. A year maximum is my prediction. Of course, that's just my opinion. No facts to back me up there, it's just a feeling. With install sizes like this, people are going to have to be pretty vigilant about deleting games they're no longer playing until these extra hard drives come out. So they're probably not going to want to wait too long to release them because, well, as I said, and as Mark Rubin said, the install sizes are only going to increase. Now, of course, they might get better compression, but if you're compressing 60 gigs, it's still going to be larger than if you were compressing 50 gigs, just for example. So I don't think any of us are going to be surprised to see that happening a few months down the line. Anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.